Okay, so I'm just gonna get started. My first recommendation is going to be Did I Mention I Love You by Estelle Mascom. This is actually a trilogy, so there's 3 books. I think there's actually 4 now. Another one came out that's like somebody else's point of view, if you know what I mean. So there's actually 4 books, 3 in like the series, I guess. If you've never heard of this book, I'm about to tell you what it's about. You're gonna be kind of like, what? But it's actually about a girl who kind of falls for her stepbrother. And I know that sounds kind of out there and crazy, but this is a stepbrother that she's never met before. This girl goes and decides to spend the summer with her father and his like new wife and kids. And one of the kids is Tyler, and he's super badass and cute, and like she can't really help herself. At first she kind of hates him, but if you guys read the book, I'm sure you'll figure it out. But it's a really, really cute romance book, and it actually started on Wattpad, so I love supporting Wattpad authors. I think it's really cool, and this is a really fun one, so check it out. The next book on my list is Until Friday Night by Abby Glines. This is also a part of a series, but it's more of a companion novel series, so all of the books kind of follow individual characters. They're not all about the same 2 people, but the first book especially is my all-time favorite. The 4th in the series is coming out in August. So there's new books every year or so. Abby Glines is really good about putting out new books in her series pretty fast. So it's a really, really cute contemporary romance series. The first book is so good. It's about this girl who had a tragedy happen in her family, and so she kind of stops talking to people. She closes off. She's very shy. And when she moves in with her aunt and uncle, she meets a boy in town who's like the head football star, super popular, and she decides to open up to him. And it's kind of crazy because like you would think they don't really match, but it's super cute, and it's actually really deep and heartfelt as well, so really recommend that one. It's so good. The next book on my list is Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone, and while this book follows a ton more than just a romance, I do think that the romance in this book is particularly cute. This book is about a girl who is struggling with OCD, and she kind of keeps it to herself. She doesn't tell any of her friends. She's kind of popular, and she doesn't want that to kind of like diminish her reputation of being super cool. Not that it ever would, but you know, that's just her mindset, I guess. And she meets this girl one day who introduces her to this whole new world at their school where they do slam poetry, and they kind of all share their stories together during lunch hour, and she meets a boy there, obviously, and it's like a really cute story, but it's also super heart-wrenching and crazy and plot twisty and just amazing. It was one of my favorite books of the year of 2015, and I just still love it so much. So definitely check that one out. It's super good. Next book on my list is Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. This is a super fun book about a girl who is talking to some guy online who they both share like their love for movies, and they just kind of click. This seems like a common theme in these books, but this girl is actually going to spend the summer with her father in California, and she knows that the boy that she's talking to online is also a resident of California, but she doesn't tell him that she's going there because she doesn't want to freak him out, or just she doesn't want to freak herself out by like knowing that he knows that she's there. So she doesn't tell him anything. She goes to California, and she meets this boy there who she works with at the museum when she gets a job at the museum, and you gotta put the puzzle pieces together, but I'm not gonna say anything, but it's not a spoiler. It's on the back of the book that it is indeed him. So that's a really good book. Kind of crazy, kind of really adorable. So check that one out. I really like it. Next book on my list is I'll Meet You There by Heather Demetrios. This is another really fun one, but also is super heartfelt and wonderful, and it's about this girl who is an art student. She wants to study art in college, but she doesn't really have any money, so she's kind of struggling along. She works at this motel outside of her town to make money during the summer, and there's also this boy who was just overseas in the military, and he loses his leg, and he comes back over. Him and the main girl character had previously worked together at this motel, and he returns to his job at the motel, and these two strike kind of an unlikely friendship. They're very different, but they really bond in some ways, and obviously it's a romance book, so more is to blossom out of that. But another really fun one that I enjoy so much. It's super cute. The next one on my list is kind of a downer, but it is Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. This is one of my all-time favorites. It's by Morgan Matson, who is one of my favorite authors. This is definitely my favorite book by her by far, and I think that's kind of an unpopular opinion. A lot of people like her other books more than this one because this one is super sad. And I'm gonna be very upfront about that because you go into this book and it's just like a crying fiasco from page 1, but it also has a really cute romance in it. The book follows this character who every single year her family had gone on this little summer vacation, but they kind of stopped doing it. But for one last time, they're gonna get together and go on this vacation again while she's like a teenager. The last time this girl had gone to this vacation spot, she left a lot of loose ends with one of her friends and this boy, and she's really scared to return. And she also has family stuff going on, and it's really super emotional but super cute as well. A great romance, but also a great cry book. If you're looking for one of those, I really recommend it. So since we're talking about YA contemporary romance, it would absolutely make no sense if I didn't bring up my girl Kasie West, who is like the queen of YA contemporary in my opinion. She has like 10 YA contemporary books that are fantastic, but I'm gonna go ahead and recommend 2 to you guys today and tell you guys a little more about those because they're like my 2 favorites. My first one is By Your Side, which is this really cute book about this girl who gets locked overnight in a library for a whole weekend, and she thinks she's alone, but then she realizes that she's with this boy that she actually goes to school with. He's kind of like the outcast and she's kind of the popular girl, but they have to survive the weekend together locked in this library, so things get interesting with that one. The other one that I want to recommend is The Distance Between Us, which is a really cute book about this girl who kind of lives in this town that is either you work there to support the rich people or you're a rich person in this town living, and this girl works at a store with her mother. They own like this unique doll shop, and she meets this boy who's obviously a rich boy who comes in and buys dolls for like his grandma or something, and they start to have a connection, but she's warned off by her mother that she shouldn't be hanging out with the rich boys, and it's crazy, but it's also a really good one. If you want more Kasie West recommendations, I do have a whole video where I talk about every single one of her books, and they're all really great, so I'll link that down below along with any book talks that I have for any of the books that I've mentioned previously, because I know I have a few. My last recommendation for this video is going to be for Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian. This has become one of my fast favorites this past year. I absolutely loved it. It's about this girl who has been working at this ice cream shop for every single summer she's been in high school, and it's super exciting. She's finally going to be in her last summer before she leaves for college, and something happens where this guy comes in and he takes over the shop. This shop has always been known for being like an all-girls thing, and it's like all about girl power. It's like the owner's relative who comes in and starts taking over, and they're all like super nervous about it, but nonetheless they push through, and it's really great, and there's a really cute romance in that book as well. But it's also a really empowering book. It's not just about romance. I really loved it. It was such a cute book, and it just made me crave ice cream so bad, but I really love that one. So obviously there's more than like 9 YA romance books that I'm a huge fan of, but these are ones that I think if you guys are going to ask me for a recommendation, I'd probably tell you one of these if you haven't read them yet. If you've read all these on this list, congrats, that's amazing. I'm so happy that you've enjoyed, hopefully, all of these books. And if you're looking for more recommendations, I can totally do a follow-up video in the future along with the one for new adult books if you guys are interested. So leave me a comment down below and let me know. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also turn on my post notifications so that you never miss a new video from me. But anyways, I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!